Are you like me? Do you want to win a GPP this week? Well, then you're in the right place. These are my DFS NFL picks for week 12. What's going on, fellow fantasy football fans? I'm your host, Hussein the Brain, and you're watching The Couch. Let's dive into the picks. I narrowed it down to 4 elite options at quarterback, and that's Russell Wilson, Matt Ryan, Drew Brees, and Jameis Winston. And my favorite quarterback is going to be Matt Ryan. He's priced at $6,700. Matchup is amazing. Falcons are playing well, and when you're going up against the Bucks, we're going to need this one to be a shootout, and Vegas has it as a shootout. I think Jameis Winston's going to do well. I wouldn't mind picking Winston in a GPP, but I am going with Ryan over Wilson. That's how I projected. Other than Lamar Jackson, who's not in the main slate, my favorite quarterback this week is going to be Matty Ice. This video is sponsored by Prolytics. Prolytics offers a complete DFS tool suite with projections, including ceiling and floor projections. That's very important. Lineup optimizers, a weekly cheat sheet with the top picks and top stacks, as well as several other tools to help you win. Their modern machine learning AI technology is what really separates Prolytics from the competitors. Because of all the positive feedback from the Couch fam and other users, Prolytics has decided to keep partnering with us, and right now they're offering a 2-week free trial. So follow the link below in the description and use promo code COUCH to get your free 2-week trial. I use it every week and highly recommend it. Now back to the picks. It's tough, but I really did want to narrow down some of my picks for this video. Russell Wilson, look, he's amazing. He's super elite, but the Eagles have been playing a little bit better. And then we have Drew Brees. Might be a little bit slower pace, might give the ball to Kamara, maybe even Latavius a little bit, and that's why I'm giving the edge to Matt Ryan. Jameis Winston, I'm still on board. I love the upside here. He's going to be needing to throw the ball quite a bit and play catch up. High scoring game. Absolutely love it. We've seen him put up big numbers. We've seen him put up not so big numbers. The risk is there. The upside is there. And that's why I do like him in GPP. He's priced at $6,200. By the way, Tampa Bay is playing Atlanta in Atlanta. And one reason I don't want to pick Derek Carr in GPPs is that he never really finishes where we want him to cash big in these big pool GPPs. The ideal points you're going for is around 27 to 29. And if you really want to think of it, just simplified, just try to get 30 or more fantasy points, which is pretty rare. But as you can see here, this year, he's never put up anything close to QB1 numbers. And that's why I'm not picking him in a GPP. I don't think the Raiders, because remember, these teams are trying to win their games, not necessarily trying to help us out in fantasy. In order for the Raiders to win, I don't think Derek Carr is going to need to sling the rock that many times. He's not going to need to throw it down the field a crazy amount of times. He's just going to need to be efficient, move the ball, get first downs, maybe throw 1 or 2 touchdowns. And that's really it. You got Josh Jacobs there. Play a little bit of defense against the Jets, and they should win. And that's why I'm not picking Derek Carr in GPPs. In case none of that made sense, I'm just saying his ceiling's not high enough for me. For the cheap options, or let's just say the cheaper options, we have Carson Wentz priced at $5,600 going against the Seahawks. We have Jeff Driscoll priced at $5,500 going against Washington. And we have Nick Foles priced at $5,400 going against the Titans, and Mitch Trubisky priced at $5,100 going against the Giants. Out of these 4, my favorite's going to actually be Mitch Trubisky. Look, I know it's dumb. I know people make fun of me, but hey, it's worked out before. What was it one time with Mariota when he faced the Falcons? And the Giants have been a get-right type of matchup for quarterbacks, such as Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is playing like not quite at an MVP level, but just probably right below MVP level. Like, he's probably in top 10 consideration when it comes to MVP. And how did he get here? It was all because of the Giants. Kirk Cousins was playing horribly. Then he had a matchup against the Giants, and the rest was history. Now, Kirk Cousins is actually a good quarterback. Look, this is nothing more than a punt. I wouldn't even trust him in a cash game. But he's got Allen Robinson, Taylor Gabriel, Cohen, and he's also got Anthony Miller. And he's a mobile quarterback. He's getting some rush yards here and there. I've seen this guy do it. Not this year, but I've seen him do it in the past. And for this price range, I think he's going to be worth having in a couple lineups. Look, if I had 10 lineups for GPPs, I wouldn't have Trubisky in more than 2 of them, but I think 2 is the right number there. I know I'm taking a risk. I know this is dumb. I've done it before, and I'll continue to do it again. For running backs, the number one question, I think out of all these running backs, I have these notes, these picks. I think the number one question is going to have to be C-Mac or no C-Mac. Are you in on C-Mac this week or not? And I've been answering that the best of my abilities the past couple weeks. And again, he's 10,500, super expensive. I'm going with no. I think I'm going to fade him. Not completely against having him in a couple lineups, but I would avoid him in most of my lineups, and I recommend you do as well. The Saints are third against the rush. Saints defense, they allow the 4th least amount of fantasy points to the running back position in fantasy, as you can see this red 4 right here. I think the Saints are going to do everything they can to try to contain C-Mac. That's the key. If C-Mac doesn't do well, the Panthers don't really have a chance. Like Kyle Allen, you can't put it all on Kyle Allen's shoulders and have him carry the team. Not going to be the case. C-Mac's going to be having to carry the team. And so I will fade C-Mac this week. The top 3 other elite options, or expensive running backs, I should say, are Kamara, 8,200 in that same game going against the Panthers. Panthers defense was okay, and now I don't think they're okay anymore. I think you can start pretty much anybody against them, any good players against the Panthers, whether they're running back, wide receiver, doesn't really matter. And then we have Nick Chubb. I feel like you definitely want to target this game. Maybe have just one player, or 2 players actually. So 1 player from each team at most. So maybe you have a Dolphins wide receiver, and maybe you have a Browns running back, or a Browns wide receiver, and maybe avoid having a Dolphins player. I feel like this game needs to be targeted to some level, but not a lot. It's not maybe the game where you want to have a bunch of stacks, and it's not going to be a high scoring game or anything like that. But I feel like with the Dolphins players, you're going to have a ton of cheap plays, a ton of value. And with the Browns players, I feel like at least 1 or 2 of them will go off against the Dolphins. Even though Chubb is priced at 8,100 and Kareem Hunt is back, I still think he's going to have a huge game. And now we have Saquon Barkley, who's just been super frustrating this year. Probably Shermer's not really playing him the way he's supposed to be played. This is a great bounce back game. It's a great bounce back opportunity for Saquon Barkley going against the Bears. Bears defense good against the pass, not so good against the run. They've just absolutely been getting torched ever since Akeem Hicks has been out. I want to talk about Jalen Samuels. He's priced very expensive. You're not really getting a deal on him, but he should absolutely ball out against the Bengals. He can catch, he can run. He's not the best runner or anything like that, but with James Conner out, and this is pretty much the best matchup you can hope for, I think Jalen Samuels is going to be just fine and return value and then some. Chris Carson is a running back I'm going to avoid. The matchup is not there. And Chris Carson, although he's amazing in season-long leagues, and I like him in cash games a lot some weeks, even though I don't play cash that much. I play a lot of GPP. He, just like Derek Carr, has never really put up huge numbers to where you have to start him. He did it against the Browns, 29 fantasy points there. Against the Bengals, 25 fantasy points there. But, I mean, look, against the Niners, I figure this to be somewhat similar of a matchup. Not ideal, but he had to go all the way to the very end of overtime to get you 19 fantasy points. I just don't like him in a GPP. I'd rather go with another option. On the flip side, Chris Carson's really good running back. They use him a lot. He'll get you those guaranteed points. Just don't know if he's going to get you. What we need is about top 5, top 4 running back status with the price we're paying, $6,700 for Carson, and I don't think he's going to get you that. I do like Le'Veon Bell, and there are some reasons I do like him, but I'm not going to lie. Main reason I like him is just a gut feeling. Matchup is okay. His usage is pretty good. And so the main reason I like him that I can say other than my gut feeling is the 6,400. I feel like he is a great option at that price. I'm letting the price dictate this pick. And just to compare, it's kind of close to about half as much as Christian McCaffrey is. So if you were going to pick Christian McCaffrey, you're considering picking C-Mac, you better be like, all right, C-Mac's going to score twice as many fantasy points as Le'Veon Bell. Don't think that's going to be the case with C-Mac going against the Saints in New Orleans and Le'Veon Bell going against the Raiders at home in New Jersey or New York, whatever you want to call it. And then we have David Montgomery. Just want to mention him really quick that this is a guy I'm probably going to have in a 1 or 2 lineups. Not too bullish on him, but only in GPP. Do not pick him in cash. He is not to be trusted. I'm really going for touchdown upside here. Or maybe he gets used more in the pass game. It's super risky and not that good, but because he's just been putting up 6 points the past 2 weeks, I figure no one's gonna pick him, so I might have him. I don't know, the more I'm talking about him, the more I'm convincing myself not to pick him. Maybe this wasn't a good idea. I do have 2 cheap options for you that I would consider picking only in GPPs and only as a punt, so you got to have a reason for picking players. Kalen Ballage, 4,400. The volume is going to be there. You know he's going to get double-digit touches, and I mean, that's really it. Browns are not that good against running backs. I think he'll be okay. What you're going to have to hope for, and it's very unlikely these things happen, is a big play. But Kalen Ballage has made these big plays in college, so you're hoping for just he gets that 1 carry, breaks it off, gets you that 50-yard touchdown. Kalen Ballage has the ability to do that. He also has pretty good hands, so he can do that same exact thing off a screen pass or something like that. Oops, had to fix my screen there a little bit. This is better. So JHI is priced at 3,000, nothing more than a punt. All we know is he'll be involved in the offense. We don't know how much by any means, but yeah, he's minimum price. And this is assuming Jordan Howard won't play. It's really trending that way that Howard is going to be out. I said I'm targeting the Browns-Bucks game. Now I'm heavily targeting the Falcons-Bucks game, and that's a game where it's okay to have multiple players. In that Browns-Dolphins game, be wary, maybe get 1 or at the most 2 players from that game. But yeah, Bucks, Tampa Bay, Falcons, Atlanta, it's gonna go crazy. I think it's gonna be a really high scoring game. And so make sure you got Julio Jones in your lineup. If not, Calvin Ridley, who I think has a ton of upside, just as much upside as any wide receiver in the main slate, or a Russell Gage. I really feel like you need to target at least 1 Falcon and maybe a Buck. So Evans versus Godwin. I wanted to get into this, and I've been doing a deep dive seeing which one shall I pick, and I'm going to go with Godwin this week. So the price is very similar, $7,300 for Evans, $7,200 for Godwin. And I've noticed the trend, and hey, it's just a trend, it could be wrong, but Mike Evans has done so much better when he faced the Falcons at home. When he's facing the Falcons in Atlanta, he's done really bad. I mean, compared to how he's done at home. He's basically twice as good at home when facing the Falcons, and he's faced them 10 times over 5 years. So we got a decent sample size to go off of. But what does that really mean? All it means is that I'm using that to say that I like Godwin more than Evans. Also, Godwin has fallen off just a little bit. He's kind of come down to earth, averaging around 12 or 13 fantasy points the last 4 weeks. But before that, we've seen him ball out, man. Wide receiver 1 a lot of weeks. He's actually been wide receiver 1 throughout the first few weeks. In fantasy, it's been crazy. And then we saw Mike Thomas and Evans emerge. But yeah, look at these, man. 30 fantasy points, 35 fantasy points, 45 fantasy points. So we know he's got it in him. I like Godwin slightly more than Evans. And that's just something I want to talk about, Godwin versus Evans. I'm not saying that Evans for sure is going to suck and Godwin's going to do much better. I just feel like, I wanted to say which one I would prefer this week. I'm picking Godwin if I have to make that choice. Same thing with the Browns. You want to have maybe Odell in a lineup, maybe Jarvis in a lineup. I do want to target them. Revenge game for Jarvis. But then Odell, I feel like his upside is back. I think we might see the old Odell back. This could easily be his best game. We saw him have 31 points against the Jets. Why not against the Dolphins? Then again, you got Jarvis, who should get a lot of targets too and have a big game. At this mid to expensive tier, we have Allen Robinson priced at $6,500. I love him. He's going to be owned in a lot of lineups though, because the matchup is so great. But hey, I don't know if a lot of people will be picking Trubisky as people make fun of him. So I could go with the Allen Robinson Trubisky stack, save a lot of salary. And I don't think a lot of people will be bold enough to make that stack. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe because Trubisky's so cheap, people will figure to be bold like me. And then we have DJ Moore. Another, I love this in GPPs because everyone picked them last week, right? Everyone's talking about DJ Moore is a must start. DJ Moore is my number 1 pick in wide receivers in DFS. The matchup is there, blah, blah, blah. So now the matchup doesn't seem as good to me, but look at these targets right here. I mean, dang, how far back could we go? Okay, going back to week 6, look at this. 10 targets, 9 targets, 10, 11, 15. So we're expecting double-digit targets. And actually, he could be matched. I don't think he's going to be matched up against Marshawn Lattimore. We'll see. Let's see what's up with Marshawn Lattimore. See if he's even going to play against DJ Moore. I don't think that's going to be the case. So I think DJ Moore is going to have a softer matchup as far as which cornerback's defending him. And double-digit targets. Prices went up. And less people will own him. So that's why I like him. The price is not right. Matchup, I think, will fool a lot of people. Be like, oh, it's the Saints. I'm scared. And then, the ownership will go down. So that's why I do like DJ Moore in GPPs. That's what we do. It has people are off of him. And we're back on him. That's what we do. It's tough to find the new trends that don't exist. Like Lamar Jackson and Hollywood Brown week 1. It's tough to find that. But it's easy to go back and recycle old trends. Like DJ Moore last week was hot. Won't be hot this week. I'm picking him. And there's some cool punts. So we got Taylor Gabriel, Demarius, Ted Ginn versus Traquan Smith. But my favorite, Allen Hurns, that's a pretty good punt at 3,300. But I wanted to narrow it down to my one favorite punt, and that's going to be Albert Wilson, only priced at 3,200, going against the Browns. If he's going to be playing in the slot, I feel like he can do some damage. He doesn't have a lot of big plays, but kind of like Balaj is, maybe he can take one screen pass or something to the house. We've seen him do it in the past. He's a quick receiver. I feel like Allen Hurns is more the prototypical outside receiver. He'll get his targets. He's a good red zone target. But Albert Wilson will probably have the best matchup if he's playing in the slot. I think it'll be some mismatches there. Then again, he is a Dolphin. You can't really rely on him. Look, if you're looking for players that are 3,300 and cheaper as far as wide receivers go, there's not that many. So I got Albert Wilson. That's the best I can do. For tight ends, oh man. It's a crapshoot. It really is. So I'll narrow it down to some tight ends that I like. My number one favorite tight end is Mark Andrews, he's not in the main slate though, so I project him to score the most points. So by default, it has to be Zach Ertz. If you don't want to pick him at 6,000, you could pick his teammate Dallas Goedert at 3,700. That's super cheap. Seattle gives up a lot of points to tight ends. I do like Darren Waller, but not that much this week. I was pretty bullish on him last week, and he did okay, and he didn't do great, for his price, but didn't do bad either. But this week, I don't know. I don't think he's worth the price. I'd rather go cheaper. Still think he's going to be a top 3 tight end. But I would rather go with a guy like Hollister, priced at 4,300, going against the Eagles. Dallas Goedert, I mentioned, I legitimately would pick him. I think the Eagles will throw to the tight end quite a bit, even though Alshon is expected to be back. Then Jonnu Smith by default has to be on this list. Delaney Walker is doubtful. Therefore, Jonnu Smith is the man in Tennessee. And who else? We have Vance McDonald in a plus matchup against the Bengals, priced at 3,500. They have to throw to somebody. Juju is out. James Conner is out. So Vance McDonald should get some targets. Mike Gesicki at 3,400. This is not one that I'm very confident in at all. I just figure he'll get a lot of targets. He'll probably won't do anything with him, but wanted to mention him as kind of a dart. And then TJ Hawkinson, who I actually do believe he's talented. I do believe he's very good. He has it in him to do some things and put up some big fantasy points. And so not that bad of a pick. We saw him week 1, 28 fantasy points. Week 4, 11 fantasy points. Really nothing other than those 2 games. But we know he can do it going up against Washington, priced at 3,400. Not a lot of good options at tight end, to be honest, this week. For defenses, I'll read off all the ones that I would consider. Top 2 elite defenses are the Steelers going against the Bengals, priced at 4,000. We also have the Browns going against the Dolphins, priced at 3,800. The Bears, 3,700, going against the Giants. Bills going against the Browns, priced at 3,400. But my favorite's going to be the Lions. This is ultimate GPP defense for me. The matchup is there. Lions haven't been good, but defenses, you just need those big plays, and they can get a big play against Dwayne Haskins in Washington. Like, it can be done. I love the value here. They're not a super elite reliable option, but this week going against Washington, things can happen. So they're one of my favorites to pick. Give you a little bit of salary relief if you compare it to one of these top 3 defenses. You save about $700, and that's a significant amount. I did want to mention the Cowboys D, priced at 2,300. Tom Brady is questionable, which means he's probably going to play, but did want to just mention that if Tom Brady is out, Cowboys D gets a huge boost, especially with all the other question marks and injuries they have, like Sanu and Dorsett. They may not play. So if all those guys were to be out, Cowboys D gets a huge boost. And then some darts. We have the Bengals going against the Steelers. The Bengals put up 8 points against the Raiders. That's actually very impressive. 9 points against the Ravens. So actually, this is better than I even thought. Like, this is a pretty good one. Low scoring game. Steelers are banged off. Mason Rudolph is not the one. So with all those suspensions and injuries, I think the Bengals have an opportunity to win this game. Will they win? Probably not, but I think this is one of the best chances they have of getting a W will be against the Steelers. I don't see the Steelers putting up a ton of points, priced at only 2,100, a great punt. And then, yeah, I'm not really feeling this one, but the Dolphins D, another punt at 2,000. I think I'd rather go with the Bengals over the Dolphins if I'm trying to punt at defense. Make sure you guys do check out Prolytics. Just follow the link below in the description. Use promo code COUCH to get your free 2-week trial. It also really helps support this channel. Make sure you're subscribed to this YouTube channel, Fantasy Couch. We also have a second YouTube channel, Fantasy Couch Podcast. Make sure you're subscribed to that one as well. Hit this video with a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thumbs down if you did not, and I'll catch you on the next video / live stream.